Well, good evening. Hello. Hello. How are we all? Hello, chat. All right in the back? Yes. It is I. It is Tuesday. It's 9 p.m. It's the 27th of August in the year of our Lord, 2013. Tomorrow is payday. Bonus. Beer tokens. And we have got quite a bit coming up in this next half hour. We're going to find out what was said to Andy by Dave K. We're going to find out all about what's on device cam, the Aurora BFT. Plus, of course, show us yours. And all that is going to be after what we call the titles.
Vapor is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquid.
Yes, doesn't it come round quick? It seems only like last Wednesday that I was on screen. Or was it Sunday on Dave's tackle box? I lose count. But yes, it has come round rather quickly. And it is Tuesday. And of course, this is Vapor Scene. Followed later on by DE Talk, if you saw the little bit I did earlier on. We have got quite a bit to come up. We're going to look at the winner of the Caption competition. That will be very shortly. We're going to look at the Aurora BFT in part 2. I've also got a little bit of video for you coming up shortly. I noticed earlier on a lot of tweets about the Daily Mail yet again. E-cigarettes are as harmful as cigarettes and could cause cancer, claims study. And this all ties in with the French government proposing or banning the use of electronic cigarettes outside and treating them just as if they were cigarettes. Yes, I won't go through the whole story. If you look on the Twitter feed or you Google that particular story, you can see the entire thing. But also, to rebuke it, if you go along to Smoketastic, there's a little piece that's been put on there as well. And he goes on about point 1 and point 2. Worth having a look at, definitely worth having a read. And make sure you've got some 45mg when you're reading the Daily Mail piece. Why can't the Daily Mail give us some good press? I don't know. Do you know? Does anyone know? Do they know? I digress. And yes. Luckily, I haven't got any 45mg, but I was tempted just to vape on some neat 75, but I didn't. I've been sticking to this juice, what I have in here, and we're going to find out about that right now. So here is a little piece I did last week when I was up in the northeast, which I promised last week on last week's show. So here it is. Good afternoon, it is I, and I said on last week's show that I would be doing a little bit of video today to talk about some juice that I picked up at Vapefest, and I have the juice in the Smock Vision Overtank on an MVP with a Gary Dibley stainless steel tip. And the juice I am vaping on is called Nuclear Plusion, and it's an e-cig wizard juice that I picked up from Ben on Saturday. Now, Ben gave me this bottle of juice. I had bought some other bottles and he gave me this one to try at the same time, and I've actually got another bottle of it in the bag of juice that I got in the raffle prize, so I've got plenty, which is really nice. And I have to say, I am absolutely loving it. It's a really nice vape, and just let me tell you a little bit more about the flavour. As you can see, you get a decent amount of vapor. This juice is a kind of a licorice aniseed fruit herby concoction. I've never tasted anything like it in my life. As soon as you get the vapor in your mouth on the inhale, it's a sweet, unctuous vape, and the first flavour you get is the licorice stroke aniseed. As the flavour starts to develop in your mouth and on your palate, you start picking up fruit, and I'm picking up peach, and I'm picking up something else, but I can't quite work it out. And Ben wasn't too forthcoming with what the flavours were. He said, have a vape and find out for yourself. So I'm trying to pick out the different flavours, but I am getting peach. Whether peach is in there or not, I don't know. But there's definitely licorice stroke aniseed in there, and also some sort of herb. And it's very reminiscent of a drink that I used to get on my visits to Menorca in the Balearics, called yerbas. And this yerbas came in big bottles with herbs in the bottle with the drink, which is kind of like a sweet liqueur that some bar keepers would give you a shot of with a round of drinks, or some of the restaurateurs would give you a shot after your dinner. And I actually bought a couple of bottles to take home with me because it was really nice, and it's very reminiscent of this drink, yerbas, which was very nice. I have to say, I've been vaping on this quite a lot since Saturday. I've almost finished a bottle. I must say, I've got a bit of juice in the bottom of my connection here, so it's gurgling a little bit. It's very difficult to describe exactly what this taste is, but like I said, the first taste you get is the licorice stroke aniseed. Then the flavour builds and builds, and you're picking out fruit and herbs. Yeah, I have to say, it's an exceptionally nice juice. And when I've finished the second bottle that I've got, and I've gone through the other Wismix juices that I picked up as well, I shall be probably putting this on my let's buy it again list in bigger quantities, because it is exceptionally good. Obviously, every person who vapes a juice will have a slightly different take on it, because obviously our taste buds are different and our likes are different. So if you don't like aniseed or licorice, this is not a juice for you. If you do like aniseed stroke licorice, then yeah, I would pick some of this up. It is very nice, and as Gary Dibley would say,
damn good.
Indeed, damn good. Right, I better go off and do some work, so I will catch you later. Let's go back to the studio. Yes, that was my little take on the nuclear pollution juice that I picked up at Vapefest. And I was looking in chat there, Dazza was there, and I said, get some of this juice because it is lovely, and I gave him a taste off my little dripper, and he went and got some, and I've finished a bottle already. I've put the last of it into the little smock Vivi tank, and it is very nice. You do have to like licorice stroke aniseed though. If you don't, then it's not for you. If you do, it's great. I love it. This is going to go into the list now with high voltage from Tea Juice, and also aphrodisiac from Tea Juice, which is another aniseed juice. I do like strong juices. But there you go. I did see a couple of comments there about the picture quality. Now, this camera is a Panasonic SD900. The other camera, actually no, it's not. Device cam is an SD900.
an SD900. The one I used in the car was this one, which is a HC V210, and I've got a little thing on it, and that sits on my dash to do the other shots. And the second shot was actually filmed with my Samsung Galaxy S4, and the sound was from the S4 and not from the Panasonic camera. The camera you're looking at now is a HC 510, I think, off the top of my head. So I've got 3 cameras. You need lots of cameras. And yes, they are all full HD, which does make a difference. And if you remember my previous Vaper trails, they were filmed generally with my iPhone 4S on the front camera, which is not as good as the back camera, but then you can't see what you're looking at. So now I use that one, the other Panasonic, so it's much better, gives you better quality to look at. Anyway, there you go. Anything else in chat? No. Right, so let's move on and talking about Gary Dibley tips, because those are those said tips that I showed last week that Gary was selling over at Vapefest with some of the money going to children in need. And I asked a question last week, which was, what did Dave Kay say to Andy to make him laugh like that? Yes, now, I only had 2 people send me photos, unfortunately. So I sent those to Dave Kay on Sunday, and he picked the least offensive of the 2. Because the other one I couldn't really put on. Let's just say it had something to do with, it was elementary, my dear Watson. Work it out with a pencil. So this is the winning picture, and it came from Jason Booth, and he said, is that an e-cig in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? So there you go. Well done, Jason. I am going to send you those. Yes. 3 Gary Dibley stainless steel tips. So if you can please email me your address, vaperscene@vaportrails.tv. I will get them into the post tomorrow morning, because I'm going to Scotland tomorrow and not back until Friday. So if you send me that tonight, I will send them tomorrow. Otherwise it won't be until I get back home again. Right, there we go. That was what I like to call the first part of part 1. And now we're going to go into this week's Show Us Yours.
And now it's time for Show Us Yours, sponsored by Flavour Art UK. Show Us Yours, sponsored by Flavour Art UK.
And that music could very easily have been used in a Harry Potter film in a little montage sequence. I try not to use the same music twice if I can on Show Us Yours, so I'm always looking out for the next one, which we get from a wonderful chap called Kevin MacLeod, who does some great little tracks. So let's look at this week's winner, and it is it's Jason, Julian, not Jason, Julian, aka Worm, 1973, and he tells me this is his iHybrids in a handmade Illuminati mod stand by Capt 12B. So there you go. Well done, Julian. I'll be in contact with you after the show, and I will tell you how you get your juice. And if you would like to send me a picture, you know what to do. Send it to vaperscene@vapetrails.tv by 12 o'clock on a Tuesday. You'll go into that week's video, and you could well get pulled out of my little folder where I go that one. So there you go. That's what you need to do. Right, let's go into the ads, and when we come back, we're going to look at the Vision Aurora BFT and something else. See you in 2.
Vapor Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquid.
iVaper and iVaper Elixir, based in Yorkshire, for your e-cig needs. That's iVaper.co.uk and iVaper-elixir.co.uk. iVaper and iVaper-elixir.co.uk, proud sponsors of Vapetrails.tv.
Now it's back to Vapor Scene on Vapor Trails TV. Vapor Scene is proudly sponsored by Health E-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquid.
And welcome back to what I like to call part 2. And I was looking at chat there, and Sarah Rat thinks, I think you need some of that stuff they used to give to the soldiers in the Second World War. Forget what its name was. They used to put it in the tea to settle you down a bit. Oh dear. I'm not even going to repeat what I've seen, to be fair. And if you're not watching live and you're watching on the Watch Again, you miss what's going on in chat. Which is always good, because as Dave Dawn always says, we have got the best chat in the world. It's very distracting. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to look now at, going back to device cam, there we go. We're going to look now at the Vision Aurora BFT, and Atif from UK e-cig store sent me this last week to have a look at. And I've been right enjoying it, I must say. But make up your own mind. Have a little look at this bit of VT.
So here we are with the
Vision Aurora BFT. And like I said, I got this from UK e-cig store. It's priced at £19.99, and it does come in a few colours. It comes in green, purple, black, blue and silver. So let's slip open the box. And as you can see, this is the silver version. And let me just take it apart and you'll see exactly what you get. First of all, there's a little cone that slides off. And this here is a bottom fed drip-in atomizer. And anyone will do. You can get your own. Top comes off so you can put your own drip tip in. Then the bottom section comes apart. You have the bottom section there with the connector, and then you have this little bottle, and it holds about 1.6 mils of juice. And what you do is you fill your little bottle, which is squeezable, fill a little bottle full of juice, attach that to the bottom of this connector, and then this then goes into the main section. And what you do is you squeeze here, and this pushes the juice up. And let me just zoom in a little bit for you. Okay, so you squeeze the little section and the juice comes up into this area here. So when you're using it with the bottom fed drip-in atomizer, you tip it upside down, give it a squeeze. That then sets up your atty, and you can vape away. When you get a dry hit, tip it upside down a little bit, squeeze it again, and away you go. You also get a couple of 1.8 ohm silica wicks with a slightly different tube, which is a bit wider. So let me show you one of those and the tube. And there we are. So this is a 1.8 ohm resistance silica wick, and you simply attach that to the bottom of your device, screw in the other tube which goes onto the top, and then replace the cone. And again, the tip comes out so you can put your own tip in, and you use it in exactly the same way. Once you've got your juice filled in, give it a bit of a squeeze, but then if you keep it squeezing and then let go, that will suck back any extra juice so it won't get flooded. So a bit of a squeeze, let it soak up with juice, and then release, and it will suck back any of the extra juice, because there's a little vacuum when you're pressing in there. The only thing I will say at the moment is devices such as the eVic, the SID, the SVD, anything with a collar, it's not going to fit on. It will only fit on Ego style batteries, unless of course you have purchased or you have in your collection a Ego to 510 or a 510 to Ego adapter, which I do have because I've purchased a new one recently. And there we go. So if we add that to the device, being careful not to cross thread, because that's what I did to my last one. So now we've got a 510 connection on the bottom, and it will fit on the other devices. Not as good as using an eVod battery or an Ego battery, but still it means you can use them on your larger devices without much of an issue. So I'm going to take it all apart again first. And you can see there's the head again. And what I'll do is I'll keep this one on for the moment. So there's all the bits and pieces. And what I have is some high voltage juice from T-Juice, which I know I really like. So I didn't want to use something that I didn't like to test this. Might as well use it with something that I know the flavour of. So squeeze it into the bottle. There we go. We've now got a bottle of the lovely pink stuff. And if you haven't tried high voltage, it is a maraschino cherry with a hint of menthol. And it is very nice. You've probably seen me talk about it before. So that then fits back into your device. You can see there. So I'm going to put the tube back on, which is the empty tube and not the bottom coil dripper. Put the tube on. Put the cone back on. And there we go, we are assembled. And I can smell this juice already, having given it a squeeze. So I'm going to put the ego adapter back on. It's well worth having one of these in your little vaping kit for such devices, I must say. So there you have the Aurora fully assembled with the juice in and with the ego adapter, ego to 510. And I'm going to put it on the SID, which, as you know, is variable voltage and variable wattage. I've got it in the 18350 configuration at the moment. So I'll put that on. I'll just zoom out a little bit. There we go. So you can see on the SID, and we'll just check the resistance. If I get the right menu item. Okay, I've got the menu, the screen set to resistance, and that is giving me a resistance of 2.1. And you can hear it firing away there. I have to say it's a bit gurgly, but the flavour is coming through. So let's go back to the studio and you can see this in operation.
And it is indeed back to me. Now, I'm hoping you're hearing me because my little meters have stopped moving. But there you go. Yes, it does take a little bit of trial and error to get it so you're not squeezing too much, because it won't kind of bring back all the extra juice if there's, you know, loads and loads of it, and you will get a bit of gurgling, as I did. But I seem to have got it right now. So a little bit of a tip down, gentle squeeze, bring it back, and you're ready. And I did too much juice. But it's not bad. It does get a bit warm, I have to say. It does get a bit warm, and I preferred the Gary Dibley tip, one of the Gary Dibley tips, to the plastic tip that came with it. But that's just my preference. You could keep the same one on or put a different one on. Up to you, really. But not bad. I'm going to continue to use it this week on my journey up to Scotland tomorrow. And I might report back further findings, and I might also put on the other section tomorrow or at the end of the week and see how that runs too. I am going to go over time because I waffled too much, but let me just tell you what is happening the rest of the week. Tomorrow night there is Team Talk, and it looks a little bit like this.
Great. All I can see is Sav.
Yeah, I talk a lot, I'm sorry. Hello and welcome to the Here's How. I forgot the second half of that sentence. I got everywhere. I forgot how to continue. Yeah, the Here's How, sponsored by Sip6.
Have we still got viewers?
Ooh.
Yeah, we've got 87 currently watching.
I've got 88.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Yeah, I did.
Someone's not watching.
She was not watching, Dad.
Yeah, that's right. I was looking at the wrong screen.
Yes, indeed. Team Talk is on tomorrow night, and they have Catherine Devlin in guesting. And then it's back, the Hazy Hour with the Team Talk group are back again on Thursday, and they've got Dr. Farzalinas on, so that should be very good. He's been tweeting quite a lot today, so please tune in to both of those shows. Dave will be back next week. He only got back to England at the beginning of the week, so he does need a bit of time to get himself sorted and get some shows together. So it's Team Talk tomorrow and Thursday. Also Sunday it is Dave's Tackle Box with Dave Kitson. Monday the boys are back. Yes, Mark and Gary back with Tin Your Tip. I am back next Tuesday. So until then, my friends, have a good week. Happy vaping. Peace out.
Vapor Scene is proudly sponsored by Health e-Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquid.